Hey everyone, I'm John Browne, and today I'm checking out the new STL ToneHub Tracer. So if we go to the STL ToneHub plugin, the new one, I'm using it in standalone mode right now. And as you'll see on the left-hand side, not only do we have all the presets that we had in the previous version, but we also have the option to click on Tracer and Traces. Now, the Tracer is basically similar to products like Kemper Axe Effects, where you can capture your own hardware yourself. And the best part is you can share it with other people, which is exactly what I'm doing today. And we have 5 rig options of what we can capture. So on screen right now, I can see that I can choose an amp and a cab together, a rig together, including stomp boxes, an amp, stomp plus amp, or a stomp only. And I'm going to start today with doing an entire rig. So to explain what I've got a Victory Amps, the Kraken version 2, boosted with a Slamurai. And then that's an all-pedal Slamurai, which is a very cool pedal. And that's going into a Zilla 2x12 in my cab booth. And that is mic'd with 4 different mics. I've got a Shure SM57, a Sennheiser 421, a JZ Microphones Amethyst, and an SE Electronics Voodoo VR1 ribbon mic, which is the exact same combination that I used to capture all of the tones on my tone pack for STL ToneHub. Now, you're probably asking, why are you using the same mics? And it's like, I really enjoy this combination of mics after capturing all of my tones for STL. So I wanted to use it again, just with a different cab this time. So this is what the rig sounds like with all those mics turned on. Pretty genty, but really cool sound, super low gain. The pedals just driving the amp a little bit, and I'm running on gain 2 with the 5150 sort of master controls, which is 666 on the equalization, with a little bit of presence turned down. So for now, I'm going to select on rig, because that's what I want to capture. So click on rig and click proceed. It's now going to prompt me to create a processed audio file. And we're going to take the audio files that we create and put them directly into STL ToneHub Tracer. So it's telling me here to locate the tracertone.wav audio file by clicking on the locate button below, and then import this file into your DAW. Run the tracer tone WAV audio file from your DAW through the desired signal chain that you want to trace, recording the result to a 48 kilohertz or above wave audio file. And then warning, if tracing hardware equipment, you may need to use a reamp box to prevent potential damage to your equipment and to produce best results. And what that basically is doing in the case of guitar is it's changing a line level output into a guitar level input. So I've got the very useful piece of hardware here called a Radial X amp, and it's the 500 series. So I'm going to be running out of that. As I've already even though I've not captured a tone yet, but I've already imported the tracer tone into my DAW and set up all of the audio lines that I require. So all I need to do now is unplug my guitar and plug that directly in to my Radial X amp, which is like that. Now, what I'm going to do is basically press record. It's going to record all the different combinations of mics that I want, along with a direct no cab coming from a 2-notes Captor X with no cab emulations. So I'm going to press record right now, and we're going to record all those tones directly through what STL ToneHub has given us to record. So here we go. And that's it. We are done. you'll notice that there's loads of different levels of DI sort of signals. And most importantly, there is a lot of variation in the music style that was being played. So anyway, I'm going to go to my SM57 because it's the one that I'm going to focus on first. And at this point, if you want to do any tweaks to the sound, then this is probably the time. So the one thing that I want to do is get rid of the SM57 whistle, which drives me nuts. So that's the first thing I'm going to do on my 57. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to export just my 57 only. And I just want it on the locators. I'm going to do the audio file the exact same length that STL Tones gave me for their tracer tone, because that can make an impact, and I'm pretty certain that they'll want you to do that. So I'm going to export this as a mono down mix. Yeah, let's export this out. So this is the 57 only exporting out. Okay, so now my export is finished. I've got to remember where I exported it to, so let's do that first. I'll be able to see which audio file it is. So it's number 73. So let's go back to STL Tones, and I want number 73. Open. Import successful. Now I'm going to proceed. So there's default for how you want to configure the tracer. The default training mode is suitable for tracing clean, low, and mid-gain tones. So let's click on the advanced. The advanced training mode is suitable for tracing high gain and fuzz tones. This mode has a longer training time, and this is called machine learning, obviously. So you can either do it from your CPU or your GPU. So obviously that's the processor inside your computer or the processor that's on your video card. Obviously, most sort of machine learning sort of environments go on GPUs. So start tracing now. Okay, tracing is complete. That probably took about 15, 20 minutes. And now to press on proceed. And I believe this is the point where it's going to ask me what my amp controls were set up for. Yes, here we go, tone stack. So we can select what the tone stack is. Now, I actually, with Victory, I have no idea. Obviously, we've got a selection of different tone stacks here, Ampeg, Bogner. So if you're capturing one of these, then obviously this will probably help quite a lot. And no doubt this will be expanded in the future by STL, I would have thought. But you've got your, dual rectifier, triple crown from Mesa, Soldano SLO 100, Vox, PV 5150. I'm just going to say that it's a generic amp right now. And I'm going to select where all my settings were. So as I said, I had a 666. So I'm going to put it on 6.1 for all that. The presence was just past 11 o'clock. So let's do about 4.4. There is no resonance on this amp, so I'm going to leave that at noon to give me a little bit of leeway. My master volume was at 6, so turn that up. And then level, I'll just leave at noon as, yeah. And then with the cabinet, my mic was roughly on the edge of the cone with the 57 on this side. So I'm going to move that. And then that basically is so that it matches it to what you had in the room. So match settings to trace, it's processing the audio. And then we can click proceed. Perfect. Proceed. Trace name, let's call it the JB Victory Kraken Mark II. Instrument was guitar. Gain type is high gain. Create new folder and call it John Browne. For the metadata, let's just I always write in capitals. Victory Kraken Mark II. The cabinet was a Zilla 2x12 Fat Boy. The stomp was an all pedal Slamurai, which I for some reason can't spell. And the microphone was a Shure SM57. And let's press, oh, and in the notes, I'm actually going to add in that this was pre-EQ'd to remove 57 whistle. Save. So now let's have a listen to what this sounds like, my trace, and then I can switch back between the amp and the capture that we just got. That sounds pretty great to my ears, like real good. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to mute this. Settings, audio MIDI, and then bring up the 57 sound that I got, which is this. Back to the plugin. That's highly, highly impressive how not only is it really close to what was captured, obviously I did a bit of EQing before tracing it to cut my SM57 whistle, just so I didn't have to add any post EQ. Obviously you can not bother with doing any pre-EQ to get the amp sound exactly the same in Tracer, but that is impressive because it feels the same. That's like my biggest gripe when it comes to plug-in guitar sounds, that it doesn't quite feel the same as the amp or respond the same as the amp. So now I've got the preset that I like. I want to share it with everybody else. You know, it's really exciting. I've just created something that to my ears sounds great. So go to Traces, click on the folder that you created. In my scenario, I said John Browne. Click on the trace you want to share and you say upload to Trace Exchange. Okay. And then it uploads it directly to the Exchange. And if we click on the Exchange now, I wonder if it comes up. So let's just search. So at the top here, it's got Browne, JB Victory Kraken Mark II, and does a rundown of what exactly I captured as a stomp amp and cab setup. So that is the STL ToneHub Tracer, which you can now download completely for free with the ToneHub update. Capture all of those amps. I can envision now that everyone's wanting to get all of their own amps so they can experiment with this. It sounds great. It feels great. The GUI interface is really easy to follow, and you can capture everything to your heart's content. So again, you can share everything that you make in the Trace Exchange. It's pretty awesome. So not only can you capture your own sounds, but you can also download sounds from anyone else that captures their trace and shares it all over the world. pretty exciting time to be alive. So thanks to STL Tones for creating this awesome tracer. It sounds great. It feels great. Thank you very much.